Alright, Barrow's room is, I'm guessing where Lucerina is, and Boz for some weird reason. I'm assuming that if you recruited Urim Barrows, then he would be here too. So let's talk to Boz first. Why is Boz here? I didn't think Lord Barrows would be killed. He's a traitor, but did he deserve to die? I bet Lady Cyoledes was behind it. She holds a grudge like no other. Why would Cyoledes stab you in the back to join the damned Godwins? That lady makes no sense. Yeah, we still haven't really gotten a full answer to that question, honestly. Hey, Lucerina. Your Highness, I'd like to thank you once more for allowing me to serve you. And thank you for trusting me even after uncovering the many sins of the House of Barrows. But my loyalty isn't to the House of Barrows. It's to you, Your Highness. Always and to the end. And ultimately, I think, and this of course is just my theory, I mean, there's a lot of people who speculate that the best, I guess, romance pairing out of Suikoden 5 is going to be the Prince and Lyon, but I don't really see that being the case, honestly. I see it being the Prince and Lucerina, and although Lyon, of course, would be a dedicated helper, bodyguard, I think that she would ultimately end up with Roy, just because I don't really see the Prince and Lyon being a couple exactly, because I don't think Lyon can overcome her servitude, I guess, to be an equal of the Prince, and I think the Prince would want an equal at his side, so I can really see the Prince getting together with Lucerina Barrows, and in doing so, I think both of them, and this is, again, just my take, I think both of them would probably really be best served insofar as traveling around Falena and helping rebuild, pick up the pieces, and kind of being really good emissaries, I guess, of the Falenan kingdom, of obviously Queen Lenslia, well into the future. At least that's my take on it. Of course, now granted, depending on how you end the game, you're going to get different after stories of each character, so of course that'll to some degree conflict this, but that's just my take on it, I guess. So take those for whatever they're worth, whatever 2 cents or half a cent adjusted for inflation, as I always put it. Alright, so let's go ahead and explore the round hall here. Hello, Sables! Hi, Dine. It's been completely quiet south of Sable. It would appear that the Armas Southern Mountain Corps have ceased hostilities, just as Shula said. We should have no problem focusing on Sol Falena now. Indeed. And that's nice to see. Alright, who's here? Oh, hi, guys. This is... Wait, what room is this again? Is this the dwarves' room? Yeah, cave dwarf room, okay. Alright, so I figure let's start where we start. This is where Zunde is. Waybon thinks quite highly of you. It's the first time I've heard that crotchety old geezer compliment anyone. He doesn't even compliment dwarves, let alone humans. But we dwarves are a selfish lot. We probably wouldn't have joined your cause if not for our own interests. Well, that's understandable. I mean, even in such a cooperative enterprise as this, it's gonna be a very sort of self-driven type thing. Guess today's the last day of my blacksmith work here. I can't help but feel a little sad. Well, you say that, but actually not quite so much, but we'll get to that. Hi, Bergen. I could never say this in front of Master Levi, but I want to do some really crazy magic myself without any help from him. But I wasn't born in the right body for that. Well, that's unfortunate. Can we get around here? Man, I'm gonna have to go all the way around. Bergen! You're little, but you block a lot of space here, buddy. Or I could have just done that too, I guess. Waybon went over to that old Raftfleet human's place. He said it was a gathering of old-timers. Well, y'all could have gone with them. I mean, everything's more fun together, I think. At least that's my take. Hi, Lord Lake. And, wow, the only one in here is Toma. Prince, you're gonna go back to the Sun Palace when the war's over, aren't you? Anything else? I guess not, okay. Alright, so, let's go over to the street performer. That obviously is going to be Norma and Ernst. Hello. And, oh! Guess it's a full moon because Ernst is in his human form. Sorry, Prince, I want to chat with Ernst tonight, alone. I've been looking forward to this full moon for a long time. A very long, long time. I kind of get the feeling that y'all are going to be up to some other activities aside from chatting, so I'll just have a quick word with Ernst and leave you guys to your, activities. Why do I look like this tonight? The power of the rune weakens on nights when the moon is full. Only then can I remain in human form. I'd really like to have a long chat with you too, Prince, but you'll have to excuse me. I ask that you let me spend this precious time with Norma. Yeah, fair enough. Alright, so let's go into the bandit camp, if we can. And, of course, well, I don't know where Roy is, but we've got Phelan and Phelan here at least. Phelan and Roy both look real mad. I told them they should try to get along before the final battle. Then Roy got all mad at me. You know what he said? He said, "Don't say like it's the last battle. It's not like we're gonna die or anything." Oh boy. Hey Phelan. Where's Roy wandered off to now? That's a good question, actually. Sorry about that. I think recording for an hour straight and doing all these voices is kind of getting to me a little bit. Alright, so this is the Lelkar room, which unfortunately, I don't care much for the Lelkar folks, but we'll talk to him anyway. I'm so sorry about the way they're acting, Your Highness. And after all that effort you put into getting Lelkar back on its feet, I'm quite embarrassed by their behavior, but please don't let it get to you. They don't really mean it. Uh-oh, what have we gotten into now? Hey, Prince, would you please tell him? That blasted Auroch is a huge pain in the neck. He just never learns. Prince, you of all people should know, simplistic thinking like Volga's doesn't cut it in this day and age. Am I right? I'm right, right? Oh god, we don't even know what you're arguing about. Good lord. Alright, so, next up we've got the Armis room, so Shula and company should be in here. Yep, and so they are, including Josephine. Okay, so that's kind of what I figured. Let's talk to Josephine first, I guess. This is not Armis! Why must a fashion diva such as myself come face to face with my fashion faux pas of a brother? It's absurd, incomprehensible, entirely disagreeable. I noticed your little sister sticks to you like glue. You should be careful. Little sisters can feel suffocated by all that attention, especially if they fancy themselves fashion divas. Oh, I was just speaking in vague generalities, of course. I wasn't referring to my situation in the least. Yeah, sure you weren't. Commander Shula is considering establishing friendly relations with Felena after the war. There may be some bad blood between our nations, but most people in Armes don't wish to be enemies with Felena. Your Highness, please keep an open mind regarding this matter. Being that we are dealing with Your Highness, I'm confident we have nothing to worry about. Alright, and then we have Nifsara. Commander Shula was frighteningly pretty when he was about your age. Though still attractive, he's no longer pretty. But I didn't pledge loyalty to Shula's good looks. I'll continue to serve him as long as I live, even after he ages into a wrinkled old prune. Still, I secretly wish he'd remain that pretty boy I once knew. You too will mature from pretty to attractive. Oh, what a shame. Alright, Shula, what's up? When I said I wanted to join your side, it was merely an excuse for me to observe you firsthand. I wanted to see what kind of character you truly had, Your Highness. Don't take this the wrong way, but until recently you were rather inconspicuous despite being the prince. But since this is common in Felena, it attracted little attention in Armis. But you were invincible from the war's outset, and you even repulsed Commander Sparna's invasion with no trouble. So you can imagine why I'd take an interest in meeting a man of your fine caliber. Had I not come, I would have regretted it the rest of my life. It was a truly wise decision. Sorry about that. If Felena is to be in the hands of one such as you, Armis would be foolish to attack your nation. I'm most certain of that. There is neither a more trustworthy ally nor fearsome foe than you, Your Highness. Alright then. Well, thank you for that compliment, definitely, Shula. Okay, so now that we're done with the affairs in the round hall here, let's head over. Of course, we've got a little bit more exploring we can do. And that exploring comes... Well, actually, in order to best do this, I'm probably going to be better versed to go back over this way and effectively make my way over in the bottom floors of here. Because if I go through the top area to the third part of the castle, I guess, then I'm going to run into George, and we'll have that George scene a little earlier than I want to. So I'm actually going to head over here and go this way. Because in doing so, we can, of course, make our way through the in-between hallway here. And then also in doing so, we can go over to the seaside, or to the lakeside, which is where I want to start that. And then, of course, we can make our way up. Alright, so nobody's up here, but let's go down this way first. And I'm actually going to skip all the dragon cavalry for now. There's a lot of dragon cavalry, you notice. And there actually is, if you're doing a night before, there actually is a nice extra touch if you talk to them. But I'm not going to do that just yet. I want to go out here first and talk to everybody who's hanging out around this way. Stairway to nothing, I guess. Alright, so our two animals are out here. Have I ever heard about the Sun Rune going berserk in ancient times? Doesn't ring a bell, young one. And I've lived a long, 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 long time. So, if something like that had really happened, I would know, young one. Ah, yes, young one. What was your name again? Oh gosh, wow. The Sun Rune? If I don't remember something, that means it didn't happen. By the way, young one, what am I doing here? Don't I live by a waterfall? Uh-oh, Gino's getting senile in his old age. Then, of course, you've got Byakuren. And yeah, that's about as much as you're ever going to get out of Byakuren, so go figure. Okay, so now we can go up and talk to the Dragon Cavalry. And I want to start with the Dragon Horses first, and then talk to the people. Grunk. Grunk. Grank? I love the emphasis to it there. Okay, so I think if we talk to Rania first... The castle's full of wonderful sounds tonight. Well, that's nice. Okay, actually, I think it's if I talk to Craig first. Let's talk to Craig. Ah, Your Royal Highness, you are most welcome to observe our ritual. It's a tradition among the Dragon Cavalry to play the flute on the eve of major battles. It is a most sacred ritual. We, the Dragon Cavalry, will do our best to honor Your Royal Highness's presence. Sir Rube, Sir Rahal, are you ready to commence the ritual? Indeed, Commander. You got it, Commander. Rania, you may play to your heart's content tonight. To be in harmony with others is a beautiful thing. Come on, Yoren. Nick's no good, so how about you join in? Hooray, I'd love to. Bah. Now then, Dragon Cavalry, commence the ritual. And so the regular night before music is replaced by a flute version, which I think is pretty nice. That's just me, though. Now, unfortunately, it does mean that we can't really talk to them anymore, so there's that, but we get this music filling our pipes as we continue onward, and that will go on for the remainder of our time in this night before scene, so it's a nice little touch that they threw that in there. Alright, so it looks like we've pretty much visited just about everybody, so now that, of course, leaves our two remaining visitors, I guess. Let's see, actually, I wonder, is there any way I can get over there? We'll look at that later, I guess. But we've got our two remaining conversationalists, and that is, of course, going to be George and Lyon. So let's go ahead and talk to George. What's wrong? Can't sleep? Ah, you're thinking about Sialeeds. I almost feel like I get what she's doing, but not quite. But don't worry about that. I'm behind you in limb till the very end. Don't you ever forget that.
This is the first time I've told anyone this since I came to Falena. When I was a little younger than you are now, I made a terrible mistake in battle. Because of my arrogance and carelessness, I got caught off guard and took a blow to my left eye. Just when I thought I was done for, Ferid saved me. I'm your ally because I owe Ferid my life, and because I made a promise to your parents. But those aren't the only reasons. The biggest reason is because I've seen enough to know you're worth it. And everyone in this castle feels the same way. We're gonna win tomorrow. I'm sure of it.
Alright, well, it's good to know I've got your vote of confidence, George. Of course, now the final member of the Stars of Destiny that we have to talk to. Hi, Cathari. Deathblow George. It would seem his fate has been linked with Falena. Oh, sorry. It's just that I find him a bit interesting. He's famous in one corner of the northern continent. I must seem like a spy, I know. Let me share some information with you to show that I have good intentions. I belong to a certain organization from a certain country. They sent me here. Lucretia is here for a different reason. She studied military strategy back home, but she wasn't sent here. She is here of her own free will. She's not influenced by that certain country's aims. She does not work under anyone else's orders. I assure you this, Your Highness. There's absolutely no reason to harbor any doubts toward her. That's good to know. Now, that organization, I believe, is the Howling Voice Guild, most likely from the Holy Kingdom of Harmonia. Of course, Cathari doesn't mention what country it is, and the fact that Lucretia has green hair suggests that she's more of Karayan origin, but the likelihood is that they're both from Harmonia. And it's interesting that Harmonia even reaches all the way down here to Falena, because Harmonia, of course, is one of the main figures, particularly in Suikodens 2 and 3, in regards to nations involved in these efforts. And so it's interesting to see Harmonia pop up here in Falena and Suikoden 5, even in such a muted form. Alright, so that's everybody. We've got everybody on this floor, of course. So now, actually, I need to go downstairs. I was about to go upstairs. I don't know why. Go downstairs here and have our second mandatory conversation and our final conversation of all of the Stars of Destiny. And that is, of course, with, well, Lyon. And, of course, Dr. Silva's hanging out in the infirmary. And we'll see one other person that we haven't yet seen in the midst of it, too. Prince? Hey, visiting hours are over, you know. Well, normally they would be, but I'll make an exception tonight. We can continue our conversation later, Lyon. Okay, Dr. Silva. I guess I'll go check on my other patients, too. What other patients? Hey, Lyon, how you doing, sweetie? Aw, man, the prince is here, too. Stupid prince, always butting in on my game, always messing up at... Hey, watch it, what are you doing? Visiting hours are over. Get back to your room and go to sleep. Hey, let me go! I said, let me go, you old bag! Why does the prince get to visit? No fair! No fair! I wonder what Roy wanted. He's sure hard to figure sometimes.
So, it's almost time. Prince, tomorrow we can... We can finally save the princess, right? Well, I guess you'd better get some sleep. Tomorrow's a big day. Good night, Prince.
Alright, so that pretty well wraps that part up, and it actually means that we get another Queen's Knight materializing, who I hadn't spoken to yet, and that of course is Galleon. When I was a younger man, all I thought about was being a good Queen's Knight. I didn't pay attention to anything else, and I put Silva through hell because of it. Come to think of it, nothing much has changed. What do you have to say about this, Silva? Huh. Well, I suppose there's no use keeping it a secret now. I was married to Galleon some 20 years ago, that's all. Now off with you, there's nothing more to tell. There's plenty more to tell. What are you talking about? I have to wonder, though, where is Miyakis? I don't think we ever found her. I think she's the only person actually we haven't found, so I'm a little surprised at that. I mean, I'm pretty sure I went into just about every room I could trying to find people, so I'm a little surprised. Let's see. Well, that basically wraps it up with pretty much everybody, so maybe Miyakis is out here somewhere? I don't know. I guess. I can't find her. I don't know. Maybe when we go into our room we interact with her a little bit, but who knows. Anyway, now that we've talked to everybody, Your Highness, will you be turning in for the evening? Yes, I will. As you wish. Pleasant dreams, Your Highness. No one has taken up your offer to leave the castle, my lady. Really? I must say that I'm impressed. The sunroom hasn't been used in any of the battles thus far. It seems everyone believes that only a legitimate queen of Falena can use it. Some say they're more worried about the Twilight Rune. Runes aren't the problem. Lady Cyalides is. I'm worried that we might be playing right into her hands. What do you mean, my lady? Oh, nothing. Alright, Tales of Symphonia. Lille, we should both start getting some rest soon. We wouldn't want to start botching crucial decisions just because we're fatigued. Understood. But you wouldn't mind staying up just a little longer, would you, my lady? Now, one of you had asked in a comment previously about in a video comment previously, about a comment that essentially the main FAQ writer from whom I drew a lot of information for this Let's Play, 29 Rooks, put in his walkthrough. And that was the idea that in this scene, Lille and Lucretia proved themselves as daughters of Minerva. I had never heard the term before, and essentially the gist of it is Lille and Lucretia are lovers. Now, why it's called Daughters of Minerva is because Minerva was a Roman goddess, and Greek goddess, of course, who did not have children, could not have children. So the idea would be, I assume, from the statement, that she would be a lesbian, that she would be in love with women, as opposed to men, because she could not have children. I'm extrapolating a little bit on that front, so feel free to correct me on that last little point if you want, but that's the best I can think to draw from that. Interestingly enough, this is not the first time that this has been hinted at if you've gotten all 108 Stars of Destiny. Because if you recall, when Cathari was meeting with Lucretia previously, she made a statement something to the effect of, when she was speaking with Lucretia, do you want to hug and cry about it, or something more? And that something more was, Cathari was fully aware of Lucretia's sexual orientation midway through the adventure, or probably about 2/3 of the way through the adventure. And so this, of course, I think seals it, but it was hinted at as far back as our recruitment of Cathari. And that wraps it up. Now that we are done with the night before, all that we have left is to begin our attack on Solfalena, and that, of course, is what we're going to do next time on Suikoden 5. So, thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see y'all later.